Hello everybody and welcome back at GJUHA, Albanian Language Center. How are you doing? Çështje. I hope you're all fine. In this video I want to talk about pronunciation and stress in the Albanian language. How to pronounce words, letters, sounds correctly. What are the stress rules, the intonation rules. There are some rules which the Albanian language follows, just as almost any language I would assume, and I want to explain these rules to you in this video. First, I want to mention that there are vowels and consonants. Vowels are sounds like a, e, I, o, u, ü, etc. These are vowels, and the rest are consonants like b, d, g, th, s, sh, j, etc. These are consonants. Usually the consonants are very simple. They just have one option how to pronounce them. Also in the past I have already uploaded 3 videos on the Albanian alphabet, as the Albanian alphabet is a bit large with 36 letters, so I split it up into 3 videos explaining all the letters and their pronunciation in these videos. I will try to link them somewhere in this video so that you can watch them if you haven't done so yet. The vowels are a bit more complicated, especially in Geg Albanian, as there are short, long and sometimes also nasal variants. Standard or tosk Albanian is much more simple in this regard, as there is no distinction between short or long vowels, and also there are no nasal vowels. Tosk Albanian lost them and mostly replaced them by a schwa, the sound. In Geg Albanian, however, from the north, also from Kosovo, it is a bit more complicated. Geg Albanian actually has a lot of vowels. I will try to explain them shortly in this video and then also move on to the stress and pronunciation rules. Let's start with the first letter of the alphabet, the vowel A. A or A in English has at least 3 variants in Albanian. So there is a short one which is in the word pak. Pak. A. Pak means a little, a bit. Pak. However, this vowel can also occur in a bit more stressed and longer variant, like in the word kati. Kati is the story or the floor, like the floor or story of a building. Kati. If I say this word indefinitely without the definite article, it would be kat. Kat, like pak. However, by adding the definite article in the end, I, the floor, the story, kat becomes kati. So the vowel is a bit more elongated, stressed and much longer, almost sounding like an O sound. Kati. Additionally, we have nasal vowels in Albanian, in Geg Albanian at least. I think it's the only language in the Balkans which has nasal vowels still. And there's also a nasal A variant, like in the word for mother. Mother in Geg Albanian means non. Non. In standard Albanian it would be nön, nön, with the the schwa sound. However, in Geg Albanian it's non, 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 nona, with a nasal on. It's pronounced through the nose, that's why it's nasal. On. Like in French, I think, Polish, Portuguese, and some languages probably of Asia, South America maybe. But in Europe it's very rare, just Geg Albanian, Polish, French and Portuguese. I think these languages have these nasal vowels. Now let's move on to some other stress and pronunciation rules. If we take nouns first, nouns in the indefinite form are usually pronounced and stressed on the last syllable at the end. If they are in the definite form, so with the definite article in the end, they are pronounced on the penultimate syllable. Let's take for example the name of the country Kosovo. Kosovo in Albanian is called kosov, so the last syllable is stressed in the indefinite form, kosov. But if you say the Kosovo, the definite form with the definite article, it would be kosova, with the a in the end. A is the feminine definite article in the nominative case in this case, and it would become kosova. Kosova and then the penultimate syllable is stressed. Kosov, kosova. Another example would be the word for sweater. Like I am wearing right now, sweater is called jumper, which I think comes from jumper, English. Jumper, sweater, jumper in Albanian. And jumper is also stressed on the last syllable, jumper, jumper. But if you say the jumper, the sweater, it becomes jumperi, jumperi. Verbs are a bit different because verbs are usually stressed on the last syllable. So if I say, for example, I understand, it is kuptoj, kuptoj, and the oi syllable at the end is stressed, kuptoj. Or we understand, kuptojm. There's only one difference. If there's a gig form like kuptojna, it is the penultimate syllable. Kuptojna, gig, is the same like standard Albanian or tosk, kuptojm, we understand. However, if the verb form consists of one or two syllables, the last syllable is stressed. If there are three or more, it is usually the second syllable in the middle which is stressed, like kuptojna. There are also certain nouns which are stressed on the last syllable, like, well, it sounds almost like in French, I would assume. French, I think, also stresses many words on the last syllable, and this is, for example, in the word for cinema. Cinema means kinema, kinema. So the last R is stressed, kinema. The cinema would be kinemoja, kinemoja. Another example is the word for presentation or introduction. If you want to introduce yourself, introduction, presentation is called prezentim. Prezentim, it's a masculine noun and the last syllable is stressed. Prezentim. There are also some exceptions where words are pronounced on the first syllable, like for example, ishul. Ishul means isle or island in Albanian, and the first syllable is stressed. Ishul. This is because when a noun ends in ul, this syllable is never pronounced. So then the syllable before is pronounced, like ishul or also okul. Okul means ice. Another example would be shekul. Shekul means century. Or also shambul. Shambul means example. Even if we add the e at the end, the definite article, then it would still be on the first syllable, the stress. So you would say okuli. Okuli, the ice. Shekuli, the century. Or shambuli, the example. This is the same for words ending in ur or ur. Like for example, the country Zvitser, 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 and the next example would be Liber, Liber, book, or also demon. Demon is winter. So these are examples where the last syllable is ur, or something with or u, then this syllable is never pronounced or stressed. I will now show you some Albanian words here on the screen, and you can pause the video and try to pronounce them in Albanian aloud in front of your phone or computer. Then afterwards I will just read them out and show you how they are pronounced. Alright, so these are the words: cheek, cheek, vlazni, vlazni, Canada, Canada, berlog, berlog, tamil, tamil, shecher, shecher. Exactly, that's the pronunciation. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new in this video. If you have any questions, please drop a comment, write a comment, or write a private message. Also use Geglex to learn Albanian from Kosovo, Gig Albanian, geglex.com. Don't miss out on this. It's a great app to learn Albanian with a dictionary, vocab, games, etc. Yeah, we will see each other again in the next video here at GJUHA. Thanks a lot for watching. Përshëndetje, ditën e mirë, tunga tjetër.